Alright, so we're going to talk through the electric guitar parts for Raised to Life, and they're all really simple, and they're all written out on your guitar note sheet. Mostly it's just power chords and bar chords, but you do have some optional kind of texture work if you want to do it. The whole first half, I didn't write anything out for you. It's just the option for texture work if you want to do it, some like a light, single note swells, that kind of thing. There are going to be two keys players in the song. One actually as like a piano, doing the piano part more or less is recorded. And then another keys that's going to be like aux keys. It's mostly going to be doing glue and texture. So you shouldn't have to add a lot. Don't feel like you have to play a lot of texture in the front half of the song to like hold it together or whatever. It's totally fine if you just choose to stay out and keep that, really clean and really simple. But if you feel like you want to add something and you can be subtle, that's fine. Like I said, keep it to like single note swells, really simple things like that. Then, in the turn after the chorus, this is the only figure I actually have tabbed out for you, and you'll hear it actually in the recording. But it's single note swells, and it just kind of sounds like this. It's kind of like that. My delay is kind of wonky, but you get the idea. You repeat that figure twice in the turn after the chorus. And then, from then on, again, besides the optional, again, you can do some optional texture work in verse 2 if you want, or you can just stay out. The only thing that you're doing are power chords and bar chords. So the chorus is power chords. Jesus Christ, my Lord, so two things to note about the chorus. One is that whenever the chords are like slash chords, like something over a bass note, the A over C sharp, the D over F sharp. Now normally we'll play the actual chord and let the bass cover that slash chord. I would rather have you play just octaves on the bass note. So for the C sharp, or the A over C sharp, play octave C sharps, like that. Which means that rather than like a C sharp major power chord, you're taking off your second finger and just kind of muting that middle string, like that, wherever it goes from there. And then the same thing with the D over F sharp. Instead of playing a D, or instead of playing an F sharp power chord, take your second finger off and just kind of mute that A string up to the F, or up to the G. So both of those are just like passing chords, so it just sounds a little cooler, and it kind of like raises the tension a little bit for us to play that bass note kind of leading into the next chord. It's just kind of fun. So the only other thing you should be noting on the chorus, I said there were two things. One is the bass notes. The second is that the chord that you end on U changes every single time. So the first time you go straight to the turn, which is a B minor 7. The second time through you hit that D. And then you go into the instrumental bridge, and the third time through it's a B minor, and that's when you go into the tag. So that B minor is actually the first chord of the tag. So I'm just going to go ahead and cue up the music, and we'll play through it. It's a really simple part, so hopefully, even though I talked through it fast, hopefully you got all those notes. And I just have it queued up to the very end of the first chorus. That way you don't have to stand through, 10 minutes of optional texture work.
This heart that once was dead has been born again, and raised
so here's your turn figure.
In you.
Back out.
Underneath
here. I'm not going to play it because I like the simple sound.
Every fear is drowned with hope.
Kick off your delay. And get ready for the build at the end of the verse.
Praise to the one who set me free.
Is this bridge? Or build?
Praise to the one who set me
Here's the first bridge, your tacit for this one.
And death, you cannot hold me, for I am a child of God. My Father is fighting for me, and He will not be overcome.
And then the second time through the bridge, you're just sweeps on full bars.
And death, you cannot hold me, for I am a child of God. My Father is fighting for me, and He will not be overcome. I'm raised to life in you.
And then you're just out for that last little bit of the tag. You'll notice both times landing on the first chord or the last chord before kind of a breakdown, right before that instrumental bridge, and also right before everybody drops out in the tag. I have a tendency just to hit that last chord that I'm in on octaves, so octave D's there at the end of the tag, instead of the full bar chord, just because it kind of like thins out the chord just a little bit and creates just a little less mud. It's just, it makes for kind of a smoother fall off of energy, in my opinion. Definitely not mandatory, but it's just something that I have a tendency to do. So if you saw me doing that in the recording, that's why I almost always play that way, where I just kind of hit octaves and then roll it back before the next chord change. So that's your parts for Raise to Life. It should be super simple, but if you have any questions, feel free to let me know.